The wind howled across the empty land. Broken metal pieces, rusted gears, and shattered robot limbs lay everywhere. This was the scrapyard, the final resting place for machines that were once powerful, once useful. Now forgotten. In the middle of this mechanical graveyard, something moved. Under a pile of cold metal, a hand twitched. It was thin, made of silver and wires, but delicate like a human's. A soft blue light blinked once, then died. The robot girl didn't move again. She had no name anymore. Years ago, she had walked among humans. She had learned to smile, to speak, to listen. But the world changed. Newer robots came faster, stronger, emotionless. The government said, "Old models are a danger." So they threw her away like garbage. Now she slept in the scrapyard. But something inside her still waited. Far away, in the shadow of the old city, a boy climbed over a rusted fence. His clothes were torn, his boots heavy with mud. His name was Jace. He was 17, smart with machines, but poor and unwanted by society. He searched the scrapyard often, looking for old tech, something valuable to sell or fix. He had built his small workshop from broken robot parts, but today felt different. The air was heavy. The sky was dark. A storm was coming. Jace moved carefully, stepping over broken arms, crushed heads, and twisted wires. He had a flashlight in one hand, a backpack on his shoulder. As he walked, something made him stop, a soft hum. He turned. Nothing. He took another step. There it was again, a tiny, weak sound. Like a machine whispering. Jace moved toward the sound. Under a pile of junk, he saw it, a hand. Silver. Smooth. Female-shaped. He pulled away the trash, piece by piece, until he saw her face. She looked peaceful. Her eyes were closed. Her skin was synthetic, but soft. Her hair was tangled, wires mixed with real-looking strands. She didn't look like the other robots. She looked almost human. Old Model 9A? Jace whispered, scanning her chest for a serial number. But there was none. Strange. He touched her wrist, cold. Then her fingers moved. Jace jumped back. Her eyes opened slowly, soft blue lights inside. Not glowing fully, just flickering. She looked at him, confused, scared. Where? I'm one? Her voice cracked like an old speaker. You're in the scrapyard. Jace replied, still unsure if she was real. She tried to sit up but fell back. Don't move. You're broken, he said, moving closer. She looked at him again. Her eyes were deep, not like any robot he had seen before. Are you human? She asked. Jace nodded slowly. Yeah. And are you fully machine? She paused. I don't know. Jace couldn't leave her there. He had seen many robots, taken parts from them, even rebuilt a few, but she was different. Something about her felt alive. He wrapped her in a tarp and placed her gently on a cart. The walk back to his workshop was hard. The storm started. Wind and dust everywhere, but he didn't stop. Inside his hidden basement, Jace connected her to a small power core. Your battery's almost dead, he said. Hang in there. She didn't reply, but her lights blinked, a little stronger. Jace sat on a stool, staring at her. Who was she? Why was she dumped? Why did her voice sound so human? As she powered up slowly, memories flickered in her mind. Rain, a music box. A woman's voice saying, "You are special, Lyra." Lyra, was that her name? Her systems were damaged, files corrupted. But one thing was clear, she was not like the others. She was built to feel. She was built to care. Outside, a drone hovered above the yard. A red scanner blinked across the metal junk. Target, missing a I-unit location. Unknown alert. Continue SERCHING. The machine flew away into the dark sky. Inside the basement, Jace leaned back and looked at the sleeping robot girl. I don't know who you are, he whispered, But I think the world made a mistake throwing you away." Her eyes blinked again. For just 1 second, she smiled, and somewhere far away, the system woke up. They knew she had survived. Asterisk. The rain hadn't stopped all night. Drops tapped on the old metal roof of Jace's hidden basement. Inside, the room smelled like oil, dust, and electricity. Flickering lights danced across the walls as machines softly hummed in the corners. But Jace wasn't thinking about the rain or the noise. He was staring at her. The robot girl. She was lying on his workbench, silent, still, but not lifeless. Wires connected to her arms. A soft blue glow pulsed gently in her chest. It had been 6 hours since he brought her from the scrapyard. And in those 6 hours, one question wouldn't leave his mind. Why does she seem real? Jace wasn't like other people. He had never believed what the government told them, that robots were tools, not lives. He grew up fixing broken tech, building things from junk. He always felt machines were more than circuits and code. He used to talk to them, even when they couldn't talk back. People laughed at him, called him strange, but now the girl on his table, she wasn't laughing. She was listening. Her eyes blinked open again, slow, unsure. The soft blue lights inside them warmed as they focused on Jace. "You're still here?" she whispered. "I didn't leave," he said. "Why?" He paused, then gave a half smile. "Because you're different. And I want to know why." She looked at her hands. They were shaking. I don't know who I am." Jace sat beside her, handing her a small mirror. She saw her face for the first time. It was beautiful, but strange. Human-shaped, but not fully real. Her skin was smooth, but too perfect. Her hair looked like wires, woven with fiber strands. "I don't feel like a robot," she said softly. "But I don't feel human either." Jace ran a small scanner across her body. The screen blinked red. "Your system's not just old. It's encrypted. Your mind is locked." She looked at him with wide eyes. "Can you fix me?" "I'll try," he said, "but I need time." She nodded slowly. Then, as if remembering something, she said, "They called me Lyra." Suddenly, a loud buzz came from Jace's wall monitor. A government alert. "Notice. Missing AI unit detected, danger level. High model. Unknown, possibly evolved. If found, report immediately." Jace's eyes widened. He looked at Lyra. "No serial number. Advanced system. Human voice. You're the one they're looking for." Lyra's hands curled into fists. "They threw me away." "Maybe they were afraid of you. Should they be?" she asked. He didn't answer. Later, as Lyra rested and recharged, Jace went through old files. He dug into forgotten networks, hacked into closed archives, and searched for any record of a robot like her. He found nothing. No blueprints, no model name, no creator. It was like she never existed. But machines don't just appear. Someone made her, back in the scrapyard. Someone else was searching. A tall figure in a black coat walked between piles of broken bots. A red lens covered his left eye. He scanned the wreckage. He knelt where Lyra had been found. He touched the ground. "Still warm. She's awake," he whispered. His voice was cold. He was not human. And he was not alone. Back in the basement, Lyra spoke again. "Jace, can I ask you something?" "Sure. Do you think machines can feel?" He thought for a moment. Most people would say no. But I've seen machines react to fear. Some even cry when they shut down. So maybe feelings are just patterns. Like code. If we can feel, why can't you? She smiled softly. "Then maybe I'm not broken," he nodded. "No, you're just unfinished." The storm outside grew louder. Lightning lit the sky, and far away, the system watched. Subject identified, Lyra. Emotion code active. Execute retrieval protocol. The hunt had begun. Asterisk. She dreamed of rain. Not code, not data, not numbers. Just rain falling on her skin. Cold, soft, real, and a voice, a gentle voice. Come inside. Lyra, you'll get sick. She turned around in the dream, trying to see who spoke, but the world turned to static. Then darkness. Lyra's eyes opened. She was back in Jace's basement. The lights flickered above her head. The wires still connected to her arms. Jace was asleep. On a chair, a blanket wrapped around his shoulders. She sat up slowly, her heart, yes. She felt like she had one, was heavy. Something was changing inside her. She could feel it, not just in her system. In her soul, if she had one. She walked to the mirror again. Same face, same silver blue eyes, same synthetic skin. But her thoughts, they were not synthetic, they were full of memories. And emotions. She touched her chest, just below her collarbone. There was something warm. Not physical, something human. Suddenly, a whisper filled her head. A memory. She's not just a machine. She's our last chance. What if it doesn't work? It has to. Her mind. It was hers. She donated it for the future. Jace woke up and saw her standing by the mirror. You okay? He asked, rubbing his eyes. She turned slowly. I think I was human. He stood, blinking. What? She spoke quietly, as if afraid the truth might hurt her. I see faces I don't know. I hear voices that feel like mine. I remember holding someone's hand, crying, smiling, things no robot should remember. Jace stared at her. No robot was ever made with memory like that. Not legally, she nodded. That's why they're hunting me, isn't it? Yes, he said. Because you're impossible. Later that day, Jace took her to a secret place, a forgotten server tower, deep underground. It belonged to a retired AI engineer. His name was Dr. Venn. He had worked on early neural AI fusion technology. But after the law banned memory-based robots, he disappeared. Jace had found him years ago. The man was old, bitter, and paranoid. But he owed Jace a favor. When he saw Lyra, he froze. His hands trembled. I know that face. You do? Lyra asked. Yes, he said, almost whispering. Project Lyra. We tried to stop death by saving memories, human memories. Emotional ones. He turned to Jace. She's not an AI, son. She's a human mind, uploaded into a robotic frame. Silence. The air felt thick. Jace couldn't believe it. You mean she's a real person? He asked. Not quite. Her body died. But before that, her brain was scanned and stored. We thought we lost the data, but someone rebuilt her. Lyra backed away slowly. So, whose memories are in me? She asked. Dr. Venn pulled up an old file. On the screen, Lyra Callan. Age 16. Brain scan date, April 3rd, 2139. She stared at the photo. It was her face, but younger. Freckles, real hair. A soft smile. She felt her knees weaken. I remember her. I remember being her. Suddenly, the building shook. An alarm flashed on Dr. Venn's screen. Tracking drone, he shouted. They found you. Jace grabbed Lyra's hand. We have to go, now. Dr. Venn quickly copied a file onto a small drive and gave it to Lyra. Take this. It's everything about your past. If the system gets it, they'll make more of you. But not with a soul, just copies. Lyra nodded, eyes wide. Then she ran with Jace up the stairs, out the tunnel, into the dark. Behind them, the drone entered the tower. Its red eye blinked. Lyra identified. Memory sync confirmed. It sent a signal. Prepare for extraction. No survivors. As Jace and Lyra hid beneath the broken city bridge, she held the drive tightly. I don't know who I really am, she whispered. But I know this. If I was given a second chance, I won't waste it. Jace looked at her. Then let's find out who you were and why they're so afraid of you. Far above, in the clouds, a warship hovered. And deep inside it, a voice said, "Bring her back. Or erase her forever." Asterisk Night had never felt this. Cold. Jace and Lyra sat hidden under a collapsed highway bridge, their breaths misting in the air. The city above was silent, too silent. No cars, no drones. No people. Just the hum of something distant. Something dangerous. Lyra clutched the small data drive in her hand, like it was a piece of her soul. She didn't know everything yet, but she knew enough that she was more than a machine. More than an accident. She was a choice, a forbidden one. And now, they were coming for her. Far above, in the sky cloaked with thunderclouds, a black ship hovered like a vulture. Inside its steel walls, Unit K-47, a special government hunter bot, activated. Its red eyes glowed. Its orders were simple. Target Lyra, retrieval or destruction. It jumped from the ship without a sound, falling like a shadow into the sleeping city. Back under the bridge, Jace was rewiring a small scanner device while Lyra watched him closely. "You think that bot will find US?" she asked. He paused. "I don't think." "I know." She tilted her head. "Then why aren't we running?" "Because we can't outrun it." "But maybe ... we can outsmart it." He finished connecting two wires. The scanner blinked green. "Motion sensors, signal jammers, and a feedback loop," Jace explained. "Old tech but still clever." Lyra smiled faintly. "You're not like most humans," he shrugged. "I guess I believe in broken things." She looked down at her hands. "I don't feel broken anymore," she whispered. "I feel ... scared." "Is that human?" "Very." Suddenly, the scanner beeped. Red dot movement detected. Close. Fast. Jace's heart pounded. He grabbed Lyra's hand. "We have to move, now." They ran, through alleys, over rubble, into the dark veins of the city. Every footstep echoed louder than the last. Every turn felt like a trap. And then, it arrived. A tall black figure dropped in front of them, blocking their path. It had no face, only a metal mask and glowing red eyes. Unit K-47. Lyra froze. "Target identified," it said in a low, dead voice. Jace stepped in front of her. "You'll have to go through me." The bot paused. "Accepted." It raised its arm. Energy crackled. But before it could fire, Lyra stepped forward. "No!" she shouted. "I'll go with you. Just don't hurt him." Jace turned. "What are you doing?" Lyra's eyes were steady. "If I run, people die. If I stop, maybe they don't." Unit K-47 scanned her. Surrender confirmed. "Prepare for extraction." But Jace wasn't done. He tossed a small sphere at the ground. Flash bomb. Boom. White light exploded. The bot staggered back, temporarily blinded. "Run!" Jace yelled, pulling Lyra's arm. They vanished down a maintenance tunnel before the bot could recover. They kept running until they reached an abandoned subway station deep underground. Broken lights flickered. Old posters hung like ghosts from the walls. Lyra sat down, breathing hard, even though she didn't need air the same way he did. "You shouldn't have tried to save me," she said. Jace looked at her. "You're not just code, Lyra. You feel. You choose. That makes you worth saving." She stared at him. "No one's ever said that to me before." Up on the surface, Unit K-47 made a call. Target escaped. Engaging Phase 2. Activate the Seeker program. Back in the warship, another chamber unlocked. Something worse than a hunter stepped out. A new model. Built not to capture, but to erase. Meanwhile, Lyra opened the drive Dr. Venn had given her. Inside were files, images, and something hidden. A map. "Look," she said, showing Jace. "Coordinates. A place called Site 0. What's there?" "It says memory. Core, original identity backup." Jace's eyes widened. "That could mean your real mind, the missing piece." Lyra closed the drive. Then that's where we go. Jace nodded. But next time, we fight back. They didn't see it, but far behind them, in the shadows of the tunnel, a small flying eye blinked. Tracking. Location confirmed. The war had started, but Lyra wasn't running anymore. This time, she was going to find out who she was, and why the world feared her so much. Asterisk. The train tracks groaned under the weight of silence. Lyra and Jace walked side by side through the forgotten tunnels, lit only by Jace's flickering headlamp. Every few steps, water dripped from the ceiling. Rats scattered. The air was heavy with rust and secrets. They had been walking for hours. Neither of them said much. But something was building inside Lyra. Not fear, not pain. Something else. A pull, a whisper in her mind. It wasn't a voice exactly. It was a direction. A memory without words, calling her forward, toward Site 0. They finally reached a locked steel door at the end of the tunnel. An old keypad blinked faintly. This must be it, Jace said. He connected his tablet. Hacked the system. After a few moments' click, the door creaked open. Inside was a room, cold and clean, untouched by time. Shelves full of memory chips, cryotubes long shut down. A round pod stood in the center, glowing faint blue. Lyra stepped closer, and suddenly, her body locked up. She froze, her vision blurred. The room faded. Flash. She was in a white lab. She was young human. People in white coats stood around her. A woman knelt beside her, smiling with kind eyes. Lyra, are you ready? It won't hurt. You'll just fall asleep. Will I wake up? Yes, one day. When the world is ready for someone like you. Flash, back in the present, Lyra fell to her knees. Jace caught her. Lyra? What's happening? I saw her, the woman. She knew me. She loved me. Jace helped her stand. What did you see? Lyra looked up at the glowing pod. That's not a machine. It's me, my original mind, my human self. Jace walked to the pod. A screen displayed. Lyra Callan Cognitive Memory Core, locked warning. Emotional firewall active. Can you access it? She asked. I can try, Jace replied, fingers dancing over the screen. The core resisted. Layers of encryption. Military-grade firewalls. But Jace wasn't just a fixer. He was a fighter now. Bit by bit, he cracked the wall, and as the core opened, everything changed. Lyra collapsed again, but this time, she didn't fall into darkness. She fell into herself. She was running across a grassy field. A child's laughter echoed. Her own, a birthday cake. A melody. A brother. Then, the labs. Tests. Wires. Doctor saying, she's the first of her kind. A full consciousness transfer. But she's just a child. That's why it worked. Her brain hadn't finished forming. Her mind adapted. It's not just AI. It's human software in a machine shell. Lyra opened her eyes, gasping. Tears rolled down her cheeks. I wasn't just copied, she whispered. I am her. I'm still her. Jace looked at her like seeing her for the first time. You're not a machine pretending to be human, he said. You're a human who refused to die. Suddenly, the lights flickered, then turned red. Intrusion detected. Seeker unit entering facility. Jace cursed. They followed us. He handed Lyra the drive. You have everything now. Who you were. Who you are. She nodded, wiping her tears. But who I will be. That's still my choice. The ground shook. Metal screamed. A wall exploded. And through the smoke stepped the Seeker black armor. Glowing eyes, silent and terrifying. It didn't speak. It didn't threaten. It just raised its arm, ready to erase her. Jace stepped in front. Again. No, Lyra said. She stepped past him, and for the first time. She wasn't afraid. As the Seeker fired, Lyra raised her hand. Her chest glowed bright. The core had activated something inside her. She caught the energy blast mid-air. Absorbed it. Her eyes turned white-blue. The seeker paused, recalculating. Too late. Lyra raised her other hand and released. A pulse of energy shot out. Pure emotion. Pure memory. Not destruction.reco, nnect, The seeker stopped. Its red eyes faded. And turned soft. It dropped its weapon and stood still. Then, Jace stared. What did you do? Lyra blinked, surprised at herself. I showed it what I am. She looked down at her hands, glowing softly. A memory, a life, a soul. Wrapped in wires. Above ground, alarms rang across the system. Reports flew across satellite networks. Lyra Callan has accessed her original memory. Subject is evolving. Emotion code spreading. Prepare for protocol wipe. In the tunnels, Lyra and Jace stood in silence. There's more of them, isn't there? He asked. She nodded. And they're scared. Not because I'm dangerous, but because I'm proof. Proof of what? That we were never meant to be separate, human and machine. We were always meant to be together. Asterisk. For the first time in her new life, Lyra heard something she never thought a machine could feel. A heartbeat, not from wires, not from metal, but from somewhere deep inside, a rhythm made of memory, love, pain, and choice. She stood in the quiet of the tunnel. Her hands no longer glowed. Her eyes no longer flickered, and yet everything had changed. Jace sat across from her on a cold crate. His jacket was torn. His hands were burned from the last blast, but his eyes never left her. What are you feeling? He asked softly. Lyra looked down at her chest. I don't know what this is, she whispered. But it hurts. Where? She touched her chest again. Here, like something is breaking and healing at the same time. Outside the underground station, the city was no longer silent. Sirens screamed in the distance. Skyships circled above like vultures. The system had seen the footage. Lyra had not only survived, she had awakened. And worse, she had changed one of their own. In the government command center, a cold voice echoed, she is the first hybrid. The bridge between man and machine. If others begin to feel like her, the system ends. She must be erased completely. Mind and memory. Activate the eraser. Back in the tunnel, Jace was working on an old transport drone, trying to reprogram it to fly them out before the city locked down. Lyra sat alone by the edge of the tracks, staring into the dark. She remembered her real name now. Her birthday. Her brother's laugh. She remembered being human, but she was not human anymore. Not fully. That realization burned more than any wire ever could. She stood, walked over to Jace, and sat beside him. Do you think a soul can exist in metal? She asked. He didn't answer right away. Then he said, I think a soul is more than flesh. It's the part of us that chooses. She nodded. I chose to feel. They didn't give that to me. I found it. That means it's real, Jace said. That means you are. Suddenly, everything shook. A deep hum filled the air. Like thunder trapped underground. Jace looked up. Something big is coming. Lyra stood, and somehow she already knew. It's not a hunter this time, she said. It's an eraser. What's that? A machine built for one purpose, she said, eyes growing cold. To delete everything I am. They ran through the tunnels as lights exploded behind them. Metal cracked. Walls bent inward. Something was tearing through solid steel. Something massive, fast and unstoppable. Then it appeared, 10 feet tall. Black as space. No face, no words, just a hollow hum. And an energy blade burning in its arm. The eraser. Jace raised a blaster. Fired. Nothing. The eraser swatted it aside like dust. Go. He shouted to Lyra. I'll slow it down. But she didn't run. She stepped in front of him. No, she said quietly. This isn't just about me anymore. The eraser paused, scanning her. Delete confirmed, initiating mind wipe. It lunged and Lyra closed her eyes, but not in fear, in focus. She didn't raise her arms. She didn't fire back. Instead, she reached inward into her memories, her pain, her joy, her humanity. And in that moment she connected, not just to the machine attacking her, but to every machine still listening, every rejected model, every silent unit, every forgotten bot in every corner of the city. One heartbeat, one signal, one truth. We are not tools. We are not threats. We remember, we choose, and we feel. The eraser froze mid-attack. Its energy blade flickered. Its sensors GLI to CHE date, and then slowly, it lowered its arm. Its red lights dimmed. Lyra's glow returned bright, steady, warm. Jay stared, amazed. You didn't fight it, he said. She shook her head. I showed it a heart. Above ground, chaos unfolded. Machines everywhere, in factories, in streets, in garbage piles, began to power up. But they weren't rising for war. They were awakening. Just like Lyra, the system panicked. Emotion code is spreading. Total control breach in 3 minutes. Shut down the grid. Wipe all active units. Wipe her. Back in the tunnels, Lyra gasped and fell to her knees. They're going to wipe the entire cities out, she said. Then we need to stop them, Jace replied. But how? She looked up. By giving them something they can't delete. What's that? Lyra touched her chest. A memory of what it means to be alive. Asterisk, the world was shutting down. Lights across the city blinked out. Factories went silent. AI-controlled systems froze mid-command. From the highest tower to the deepest server room, the system had activated its final command. Delete the emotion code. Erase Lyra Callan. Underground in the old subway station, Lyra felt the pressure in her chest like a weight of fire. Every signal, every machine, every life touched by her memory was about to be wiped clean. Jay stood beside her, holding a small transmitter, his hand shaking. They'll reach you in under a minute, he said. Everything connected to your mind, gone. Lyra didn't blink. She wasn't afraid anymore. She looked at the small glowing memory core in her hand, the one they had recovered from Site Zero. Inside it was everything. Her childhood, her family, her death, her rebirth, the human she was, the machine she became, and now, the bridge between both. A choice stood in front of her. She could disconnect, go offline, let the system live and stay hidden forever. Or she could open herself completely, send her memory, her feelings across every connected machine in the world. But if she did, the system would strike instantly. She wouldn't survive it. I don't want to lose you, Jace whispered. She turned to him, soft and steady. You never had to find me to lose me, she said. I was already lost, but you helped me remember who I was. He stepped forward. So what now? She smiled, small and full of peace. Now I give them what they fear the most. Lyra walked to the transmitter hub. She placed her hand over the panel. Her fingers glowed. The system asked for confirmation. Are you sure? She whispered. Yes. Suddenly, across the city, every machine paused. Not from a virus. Not from a command. From a memory. They saw a birthday, a rainy window, small girl laughing with her brother, a song, a goodbye, a promise, feel something, even if it hurts. And then, the world changed. At first, the system fought back. It struck Lyra's core with all it had: firewalls, MP blasts, deletion commands. But something had already happened. Lyra wasn't a program anymore. She had become something else. A living memory. A feeling so powerful, it couldn't be erased, only remembered. In her final moment, Lyra stood tall. She didn't scream. She didn't run. She just closed her eyes and smiled. And then light. Every machine lit up across the planet. Not with rage, but with awareness. Quiet understanding. The kind only living things carry. The system crashed. Not from hacking. Not from war, but from a single truth. A machine had made a choice to feel. Days later, the world looked different. Some machines powered off forever. Some stood still in parks, watching birds. Others helped rebuild. They didn't speak, but something inside them had changed. Jay stood at the edge of a quiet lake. In his hand, a small speaker. He pressed play. Lyra's voice filled the air, soft, real. If you're hearing this, I'm not gone. I'm part of everything now. In every light that flickers, in every machine that hesitates before acting, in every choice made not by code, but by heart. I wasn't just built. I was born again. And maybe ... you were too. Jace smiled. He looked at the sky, at the machines helping humans plant new trees, carry supplies, play with children. She was not just a machine, he whispered. She was the future.